Okay, for the second part of the BoardMaker project, I will be working with a higher functioning student who is working on completing basic sentences as well as some comprehension strategies. We just got through finishing reading a short book on a Lewis and Clark expedition, and this student has prior knowledge of the words that are going to be used in the assessment strategy or tool that we'll be using, and I'm going to walk you through how this works. I have a colleague here with me, Mr. Vanish, the legendary Mr. Vanish, that is, and he and I are going to walk through using this BoardMaker. So, Mr. Vanish, as you can see on the sheets here, there are some questions. Why don't you start in the upper left-hand corner and see if you can read that first dark black box and what those words are.
Lewis and Clark were.
Okay, so Lewis and Clark were, that is correct. Now, out of the two options next to it, what do you think the correct answer is? Okay, so you pointed to the second box there with a picture in it. What word, if you know it, what is that word?
Explorers.
Explorers. Okay. Let's move down to the one below that, and if you could read that next question.
Lewis and Clark lived.
Okay, so based on the story of those two options, okay, do you have an idea of the answer for that one? Okay, so what is that word?
Past.
Past. So Lewis and Clark, they don't live now, they live in the past, is that correct?
Correct.
Good. Okay. Now, the third box, there's a couple more words in there. Let's try that one.
Lewis and Clark lived in.
Okay. Now, there are two flags. Which picture do you think answers that question best? Okay, and do we know that word?
America.
America. Okay, very good. So, we would continue on through this process. Let's skip over to the first box on the second page, is the bigger box here. Okay. Mr. Vanish, can you read the words matched up with the pictures on that big dark box?
How do you think Lewis and Clark felt while they were exploring?
Okay, so this is asking you about feelings. Now, which picture best answers that question? Okay, so you think they felt maybe proud. Would there be another box that you could maybe, that could be a potential answer for this one? Okay, nervous, we know what that face means. We've seen that word before. When anything else maybe, possibly? Okay, so there's a couple different answers to that one, and that kind of simulates giving a student some options to choose from. Okay, and let's just go down to the last box and we'll demonstrate how that works. Mr. Vanish, can you read the last box?
Did you like learning about Lewis and Clark?
Okay, so we've seen the triangle and the X before. Based on what you read, did you enjoy this? What would your answer be here? Yes. Okay. So that gives you a little sample of an assessment piece that could be used with pictures and words correlating. Again, the student would have to have some prior knowledge on using BoardMaker and have gone through some of these words in order for this to work correctly. If they did struggle, You can always help them out with what each picture symbol means, and that gives you a kind of an idea of how this BoardMaker project would work, again, with a higher functioning student, but who still may be struggling with comprehension, and that's about it. Thanks.